Hey, Nines. So let's just do a little bit of a walkthrough here. We can go quickly through the questions and see how we did. So start, we got a first couple of videos. Make sure you watch both of those. There's some clarification in there. First question, label the products and the reactants. So all we had to do was simply label which side were the reactants, which side were the products. And again, the products, I think, is the easier one to remember because it's being produced, right? These are all, something's happening and something new is being produced. That's a key of a chemical reaction, something new being produced. This is the products. This is what is produced. What's next? So state how many of each element are in the reactants or products. State if, state if the reaction is balanced or not. So simply, I can just look at my sodium here. It's not diatomic. There's no coefficient out front, so there's just one in there. The chlorines, okay, there's no coefficient, but it is diatomic, so there are two there. There is one sodium, one chlorine. Is this balanced? We can look on the left and right hand side of the reaction. Sodiums look good, but my chlorines, no good. They all need to be good, so this is not balanced. Okay, this next one, same idea. Is it balanced? Is it not? We just need to state how many are there. We have two groups of carbons. We have two carbon. We have three groups of two, which gives us 6 oxygen. Okay, we have two groups of carbon, which again gives us 2, and we have two groups of 3 oxygen, which gives us 6. Okay, so some bigger numbers there, right? We haven't seen a 6 before, I don't think. So 2 carbon, 2 carbon. Perfect. 6 oxygens, balanced. Awesome. Yes, this is balanced. You know what? I'm going to lock out because we can okay to make it in country sometimes. Idea? Okay, so 1 magnesium, no coefficient, so this is diatomic, and so we have 2, 2, and 2. Again, our magnesiums we can see right away, no. It's not balanced, so we would have some work to do there. Not required to do it yet. We'll get to that. Okay, so now we're looking to balance, but we're not going to use coefficients. We're actually going to use the manipulatives so we can move things around. So looks like we have 1 sodium and 2 chlorine. So we need, first of all, we need another chlorine, but the only way to do it is to move this whole molecule down. Okay, now we have 2 chlorines in the products, 2 in the reactants, but now we notice that we have another sodium as well. So let's make sure that we add another one there. Okay, I think I'm done. So I'm going to go through again. 2 sodiums, 2 sodiums, 2 chlorines, 2 chlorines. Awesome. HCl, so 2 diatomic elements, right? Hydrogen and chlorine, and HCl. So there's 2 hydrogens, 1 hydrogen, 2 chlorine, 1 chlorine. So all this is going to take is just one of these. Now we have 2 of each element in the reactants and the products, and we are looking good. Okay. Oof. 3s and 2s and 1s all over the place. Okay. Where should we start? So our nitrogens are good, right? Nitrogen is 2. Nitrogen is 2. So far, so good. Our magnesiums, however, need 3, right? We need 3 on this side, so we need 2 more. So it's going to look something like that. Good. Okay, so I think I'm done. Let's double check. I have 3 magnesiums on the left, 3 magnesiums on the right. I have 2 nitrogens on the left, and I have 2 nitrogens on the right. Awesome. Okay, now we got to do it all. Coefficients, and I'm just going to ask you guys just to put in the number of elements on both sides like we did at the very start, just so we can be sure that we've done our work correctly. So right off the bat, we have 2 nitrogens on the left, only 1 on the right. So this is going to need to be 2, right, to start to match our nitrogens. Okay, but when we change, remember we're making groups here. So we actually doubled the amount of oxygen as well. So we're going to need 2 over there. Okay, I think I'm done, but let's make sure because we changed a lot of stuff. 2 nitrogens, 2 nitrogens, 4 oxygens altogether, and 4 oxygens. Okay, so this is where I put this down. So I should have done this the first time. So to double check, I have 2 here. I have 4 oxygens. I have 2 nitrogens and 4 oxygens. 2 and 2, 4 and 4. Looking good. I am happy about that. Okay, next one. So, a lot going on here. Right off the bat, I see a couple of things. Okay, and I'm going to do this one the long way and show you that sometimes you have to go through it twice. So right off the bat, I see I have 1 sodium on the left, or in the reactants. I have 3 sodiums on the right. So I'm going to need to triple this guy, right? Put a coefficient of there. So I have 3 groups of it instead of 1. Okay, so now I have 3 sodiums and 3 sodiums. My nitrogens are wrong too, though. So I have 2 nitrogens and only 1 nitrogen. I need to double this side. Okay, and some of you might catch it right away, but I think I'm done. So I'm going to make sure that I go back through. Okay, I have 3 sodiums, but now I have 2 groups of 3. Uh-oh, now I have 6. So what's actually going to happen is this is where you have to kind of go through twice, is we actually have to go back and change this to a 6. Okay, this is going to end up being a 6. Okay, and I'll show you that one more time. So we went through it once because we saw the 3, so we changed it to 3. Then we had to double it because of our nitrogen. And now it's going to start to work out. So we have 6 and 2 and 6 and 2 groups of that. Looks good. And remember that this isn't 0, right? That's just a 1. We don't have to write it, but I'm just going to put it there to remind you guys that a blank box like we see here just means 1 in the previous slide. Just means 1. Okay, so that's it. So that was the hardest one. I'll do this one more time for you. Oops, I want to do that. I just wanted to... Okay, so do this one more time. I have sodium, 1 sodium on the left, but I have 3 sodiums on the right. Okay. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a hint, is that I would always start with my diatomics, because it's generally going to make things easier, and you're more likely to only have to do it one time. If they're both diatomic, it doesn't matter. But in this case, I'm going to start with my diatomics, and you'll see that it's a little bit quicker this time. So I'm going to say that I have 2 nitrogens on the reactants on the left-hand side, only 1. So I know that I'm going to need to double this one. This is the same thing we had to do last time, but you'll see that if we do it in this order, it just makes things a little bit easier. Now I have 1 sodium on the left, and I have 2 groups of 3, which is 6. So I know I'm going to need 6 groups there. Okay, so then I'm done right away. If you start with your diatomic, you can usually skip a step or having to go through it a second time. So double check, we have 6 and 2 and 6 sodiums and 2 nitrogens. Looking good. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Again, message me if this wasn't enough. If you still have some confusion, no problem. Again, this is smack dab out of the middle of grade 10. So if you're cruising through this, or if you're able to get through, I think you guys are going to be awesome. So keep up the good work, and I'll see you guys soon.